A tag video. Once again, your boy was tagged, and this time the tag is 4 fragrances for each season, and you can only choose 1 fragrance per season to wear for that whole entire season. So just take fall. You pick a fragrance for fall, and that's the only fragrance that you'll wear for the whole entire fall. Now, for me, that's gonna suck because I don't wear the same fragrances over and over and over. I like to change it up, but I think this is gonna be an interesting list. So stay tuned. First off, if you are not a subscriber to this channel, that goes for newbies and people who just have been around for a long time. They watch a video, but they never subscribe. Go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, ring the bell icon for notifications, like the videos, share the videos, and be active in the comment section. And once again, if you think it's going to cost you something, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing. So stop hesitating and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And let's get to it. Now, I was reached out to earlier today by a channel called Hazy Fragrance Reviews, and he's a newbie, and I'm more than willing to help newbies. If you want to do a collaboration, if you want advice, I've given a lot of advice, especially with my experience on certain issues and topics and stuff like that. I'm not the guru. I'm not the greatest in the world. I'm not, some top tier gatekeeper type dude, but people do respect my opinion and they do reach out to me. So, I'm humble and I'm not big headed, and I don't forget about people who were in the trenches where I was not too long ago. I still talk to the same old people I've talked to since day one, well, with the exception of a few. But with that being said, let's just get to it. So 4 fragrances, 4 seasons, and you can't use the same fragrance more than once. So just take, for instance, if you pick spring and you choose Parfums de Marly Percival, you can't use Percival again for summer. Once you use it for spring, that is it. So 4 fragrances, 4 seasons, that's it. My first one was a no-brainer, and this is for winter. And the first fragrance I went to, Kevin Holt over at Sensual Obsessions. I salute you, my friend. I actually salute all of these independents for doing a phenomenal job with these fragrances. A lot of these companies, they are more than generous. They reach out. Sometimes we reach out to them. They oblige. They hook us up with samples. They send us bottles and whatnot. And a lot of these other companies, bigger companies, don't even oblige that. You have to have, 50,000 subs or 100K and all that. And I'm like, dude, I understand the game, but sometimes it's just not right. But whatever the case may be, I salute all of these independents, the ones I have in this list and the ones that I haven't mentioned or won't mention in this one. But you all know who you are, and I salute you all. Great job. First fragrance for winter, Andy Warhol by Sensual Obsessions. And Kevin Holt put his foot in this. And I love this fragrance. The first time I ever smelled it, I think this is probably one of the first that I smelled from him. Now, this is not the actual one that I had from back when we first started dealing with each other. I do actually still have that bottle, and I know it's maturated because it's been about 2 or 3 years now. This is one of the newer ones that he sent out a few months back, and he sent another little smaller bottle for my son, and it has his name on it, Little Cheap Scents. No, it says Little Fragrant Life or something like that. But anyway, fantastic smelling fragrance. I love it. I have never gotten my nose on the actual Andy Warhol, so I really don't know what it smells like. But if this is anything like that, then that has to be a fantastic smelling fragrance also. And I just adore this. And I'm glad Kevin keeps me with a supply of this. I have like 5 or 6 different batch variations of this particular fragrance. So shout out to Kevin Holt over at Sensual Obsessions and his version of Andy Warhol. That was my winter pick. Spring. I actually reached out to, I had this fragrance in spring anyway because the way it smells, it fit spring perfectly. I reached out to Icon de Parfum and I asked him what did he classify this as, and he said he was aiming for spring, and that's exactly where I had it. So that's where it is. And this to me is top notch. This is number 1 out of the, I think, 4 fragrances that I have from him so far, 3 or 4. 623 is the fragrance that I'm talking about right now. It's kind of hard to see, but 623. And this is a phenomenal smelling fragrance. I raved about this so much. And if I'm not mistaken, when I did my review on this one, he messaged me and I think he told me that his sales shot up. It spiked after I did my review on this one. I reviewed his other 2 or 3 fragrances I have from him. I think it's 2. And none of them gave me the reaction that I got from 623. This is fresh as I don't know what. Oh my God, this smells so good. This is a fantastic smelling fragrance. Definitely make sure you check the link in the description to go to Icon de Parfum and check out this fragrance. It does have a brief description of what's in it, and I highly recommend 623 from the house of Icon de Parfum. That is my spring pick, 623. Summer, summer, summertime, summertime. Summertime. I had a bunch of different picks. I actually had another one from Sensual Obsessions, which was my scent of the day, King of Kings. But I was like, I already had a Sensual Obsessions fragrance in here. So let me give somebody else a shot. And this fragrance is just like 623 in my personal opinion. Now, I'm not saying they smell alike. I'm just saying it got the same kind of reaction. If you go back and look at the video I did on this one, this is from Authenticity Perfumes Fresh Boss. And there's another reviewer that talks about this particular fragrance. A lot of people have been ranting and raving over this one, and I finally got my nose on it and I see why. This is super fresh, perfect for summer when it's hot out. And I need to give this some more wearing. You can see I have put a little bit of a dent in this, but I need to give it more wearing. The citrus in this, it smells like orange or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but this is like the ultimate fresh fragrance. It smells fantastic. It gives me like superb performance. Not all day performance, but I do at least get more than 5 hours out of it. A lot of fragrances I wear, I usually get about 5.5 hours. I got more than that off of this. And that's kind of unusual for a fresh fragrance because a lot of us know fresh fragrances do not last that long. But this one actually does. This is also Parfum Concentration. And that is my summer pick, Fresh Boss by Authenticity Perfumes. Last but not least, definitely not least, Travis Gearhart over at Dapper Fragrances has been super generous, about as much as Kevin has been. Not so much as of lately. I don't know. I haven't been getting any packages from Travis as of lately. I don't know if it's because of a statement I made where I said something about sometimes Clone House fragrances are one-dimensional, You only get a certain aspect, but that's just from the standpoint of a true frag head. Some of us like to smell the stages. We like the changes in fragrances. And I'm not knocking any independent house, and I respect if they don't want to send me anything. I get it. But for me, Dapper has been a staple in the community, just like Kevin Holt and some of these newer ones like Authenticity and Icon, and there's a few others that I haven't mentioned in this video. But this fragrance is Travis's version or formulation of Initio Side Effect. Let's see if I can get it to focus. From Dapper Fragrances. And this is my fall pick. Oh man. You want to talk about a heavenly smelling fragrance. I don't believe I've got my nose on the actual Side Effect by Initio, but if this is anything close to what it's supposed to be, then I could just imagine. The price point on Initio fragrances are pretty expensive, and I don't have any original fragrances from Initio, I don't believe. I do have what is the name of that? Initio Ooh for Greatness. That's the only one I have. But Travis has stepped his game up also. This, I don't believe this is the bottles that he's using anymore. If I'm wrong, then correct me, but I still didn't mind these bottles either. But like I said, he's been more than generous also. So reach out to these companies, guys, and let me talk a little bit about the fragrance. I didn't even get to the fragrance yet. I'm skipping ahead in my head. This smells kind of boozy. I don't know if it's like, it's some sweetness to this. It smells a little boozy. Man, it's hard to describe. It's just a phenomenal smelling fragrance. I just love it. It's cozy. It's kind of warm. There's some spice in here, and I just don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, give these companies a chance. You don't have to go and buy a bottle like this or a bigger bottle. Get you some samples. They do sell samples. Test them out. If you find something you love, go ahead and get you a bottle. They're not that expensive. A hell of a lot more inexpensive than paying what you're going to pay for the actual Initio, or if you can find a bottle of Andy Warhol, because I think it's discontinued, but don't quote me on that, but I think it is. But people are selling that for astronomical prices, and to go with somebody like Sensual Obsessions and their version of Andy Warhol, I don't think you're going to lose out. So with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to draw this video out any longer than it is. Thank you once again for Hazy Fragrance Reviews for reaching out. And anytime you want me to do another collab video with you, let me know, and I'll be more than willing to do it. And that's all I got. So here is to smelling great. Peace, y'all.